Okay, so check this out really quick. So today's November 18th, 2022, and I wanted to give you a sneak peek on one of my long videos. These videos are going to be long. I'm just going to do like a series of videos from Georgia that I've done and am still doing. So this is what I saw last night on the way here. This is the most interesting building I've seen.
Happy birthday. Is this where they play? Wait,
So that building right there, it says TBS, Boomerang, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, CNN, True TV, TCM, and TNT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. TNT. Yeah, that's all of them. All right, play it.
So, Boomerang and Adult Swim and Cartoon Network are from here? What? I had no idea. I could be wrong. Well, because there's a Microsoft here, and that obviously ain't from here.
So that's the sneak peek. Obviously, that's the most interesting place I've came across here. But I am in Atlanta, or not Atlanta. I'm sorry. I am in Georgia. I have yesterday on November 17th. I have officially flown from Seattle to originally Washington D.C. and that was a 5-hour flight. 6-hour flight. No. So from Seattle to Washington D.C. it was 1:31 when I left, but there was a delay, so probably like 1:40, 1:45, and I got to Washington D.C. at 9:19, and that's their time. So if we go back 9:19, 8:19, 7:19, 6:19, so it was only a 5-hour flight. And so that's how long it took to get to D.C. was 5 hours on the airplane. And then after that, from Washington to Atlanta, because we were on a layover, that was scary because we actually almost missed that flight. I have a whole video. A lot of these videos speak for themselves, but I just want to say some things that happened on my trip from yesterday to now. We almost missed that flight, and that would have really sucked because I don't know what would have happened if we were trapped in Atlanta. We probably would have had to wait until it came back or another flight or whatever. But yeah, so from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock their time, this time, not Washington time, we made it to Atlanta, Georgia. So from 1:31 to 12 o'clock this time, so basically AKA 9 o'clock, we've been flying around and getting through airports for 8 hours. So 8 hours we were flying around, and then for like another 1-2, we were like there for an hour, 2 hours, because we left as soon as I got home. Almost 3 hours at SeaTac, and then Washington D.C. we went straight over to the other airplane because as soon as we landed in D.C. we had to go and board an ASAP to the other plane. Thankfully, we got a ride from a guy in the car, and we made it on time. Barely. We were the last ones on, and that was like 5-10 minutes, I'd say. And then we made it to Atlanta, and that was a whole ordeal too, because for like an hour and a half, about an hour and a half, somewhere around that, we were basically waiting for our luggages to get out of the bays, to circle around so we could pick it up, and that was a whole freaking thing because I thought we paid, for us to take our bags and put them up there, but I guess I wasn't the only one. Literally everyone else was doing that too. They were having everyone else do they were, baggage checking, handling our bags. And I didn't want them to do that. I wanted to carry it on the plane myself, and so did everyone else. But I guess they literally had to put their bags under the planes as well. So, but anyway, basically, we had to wait for my bag, and then it became this whole nut house of what we're trying to do, get the rental cars. It became this whole freaking nightmare of everyone just trying to figure out what's going on, because none of us could figure out what was going on. And my aunt was coming around trying to get us, but she was all the way the fuck across the other side of the airport, so she had to come in, walk around, and she found us. And I'm like telling her, we're at this door, and it looks like this, because there was this whole, I don't know, it was this wavy looking light. If you look up the airport in Atlanta, you'll see like the whole wavy shaped white light looking thing that's outside of the airport where the cars come in and they pick people up. She was on the opposite side of us, because I said N3, she was at F4, and clearly she was lost. And and then we got into it with each other, and it got heated last night with us a little bit, because like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't ask me to transport everyone and know where to go, like Jesus, so. But anyway, we found each other, and then we got McDonald's, and we didn't get here, and we're in Duluth, Georgia, and we got in our rooms at 2 o'clock, and the baby would not stop screaming for like a whole nother thing, so we didn't all fall asleep till like 3 o'clock. I fell asleep pretty quickly, but yeah, it was a really frustrating night, just trying to get to our rooms. And then on the way to our rooms, I saw, like I showed in that preview from my camera, the video, the most surprising thing I've ever seen here, because I did not expect to see this building here, but I wasn't like all raving about it, because I'll explain. So what you saw was the building for Cartoon Network, TNT, Boomerang. There's eight of them. Like I've said, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, TBS, Adult Swim. I've already named them off at the beginning of the video, so then you can go back and read them. But that is the official headquarters for those channels, and I did not know that at all. That was crazy. That just blew my mind when I figured it out before I started this video, because I looked it up. But then I didn't think I thought it was too good to be true, because there was a Microsoft building right next to it. But Microsoft is not from Georgia. It's from Seattle, Washington, a little bit away from my home, but, about 45 minutes. And so I was like, well, there's a Microsoft there, so it just might be a sub-building, like sometimes they'll have little sub-buildings. Like I said, Microsoft, the main headquarters is in Seattle, but they have one right there in Georgia, so... But that's not the main headquarters. It's just a sub-building, so people can have access to working at Microsoft for Georgia, and, so that's why I didn't seem all surprised and was just making secondhand guesses. But I thought that was probably the coolest building I've seen. I don't care for Cartoon Network for what it is now, but I've always watched Cartoon Network growing up. Not anymore, but I used to. Watch Regular Show, Adventure Time, even though they all had shitty endings, in my opinion. Don't come for me about it. I did not like Regular Show where they went to space, and Adventure Time where he had to deal with his parents, find his parents. I didn't like all that. I don't like TV shows, cartoons that mean to have some kind of story. I like them fresh and new every episode. New story every episode. Subplot every episode. Not a story that connects to end the show. I can't stand that. You might as well cancel the damn show to make people miss it better. Like Jimmy Neutron, they cancel that show, and that's what makes it more missable, because people want more, But in reality, I'm kind of glad they canceled it because it makes people want it more. It makes me like it more for those reasons. But anyway, I'm not trying to shit on Cartoon Network because that's not what this video is about. It's about, hey, I found the headquarters. I was nearby, you know, that's kind of cool to know now. And I have a video of it because I wasn't expecting to see that, you know, so. And so this is only day number 2 of 5. So I don't know what we're going to do the next 3 days. But anyway, so that's all last night. So now we're coming in today. So today was a little more rough around the edges. So I slept really well. I slept like a baby. It was 11:30 when I woke up, almost 12. So I wake up, the baby's out of the crib, walking around, touching every freaking thing she can. When all of a sudden, I watch her, I check my phone, I go back to bed. So my camera, which is now hiding back there, would have been hiding up here. But the thing was, my niece, out of all the shit she could have grabbed, she grabbed my camera and she dropped it. She pulled my camera off the table and she fucking dropped it, man. And oh my gosh, dude, I just wanted to cry. I wanted to freaking throw a fit. I wanted to fucking just have a meltdown and go crazy, But poor baby, I didn't like angrily do it. I did it like, oh shit, no, kind of thing. But I pushed her out of the way, like back up, like stop touching stuff, and I pushed her out of the way, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, and Gab wakes up and she's like, what? I'm like, the baby broke my fucking camera, she broke my camera, bro, and, I hope these walls, I don't hear anybody inside these walls next to me, so, they probably can't hear me if I'm, like, talking like this, but, I was like, man, dude, it just sucks, because it's my first trip, and this is a $2,000 camera. So, yeah, she dropped my camera, man. I woke up to that. I woke up to hearing the sudden... And I'm, like, thinking, oh, my God, I hope that's not my camera. And I jump up, and lo and behold, here she is, just holding the camera at the floor in my hands. I'm like, oh, dude, So I race, and I'm like, no, And like I said, I kind of moved her out of the way, and she began crying, and I felt really bad for her. I'm like, this is why you don't fucking keep touching stuff, And she was crying, and I just couldn't be mad at her, bro. I'm like, dude. I'm like, really, dude? Like, come on, man, So, yeah, so my camera fell. She pulled my camera and dropped it, and it was a hard fall from up here where the binky is to on the floor, and fucking great. I was just so fucking done with this trip. I was so done with this trip that I was just like, this fucking trip is already coming across awful for me. And, so, yeah, so that was irritating. So now my camera is fine. It'll still do, play the videos. The buttons still work. It still records. But when I turn on the viewfinder, it gets buggy. It gets all buggy. There's these, like, at the bottom half, I could still see what's going on here, the time that it's recording, the sound. I could see all these things that tells me what I'm recording with, what quality, what sound. But it's a bunch of clear, striky lines, like pretend there's no curtain right there. All you see is just the lines, but they're not like, it's more clear than this, but that's a prime example. Just imagine the bottom half, just clear lines like what you see here. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't want to look at that, That makes me think, man, when I turned it off, my niece dropped the camera. It's going to make me think of that every time. So It's a beautiful thing I got a warranty because I'm either gonna get a new either a new Panasonic, or I'm fucking gonna get a new camera if they don't have any. You know, I'm gonna see what my options are, or get it fixed. You know, get it fixed because that's just plain ridiculous, dude. That just out of the nowhere, fate just happened and shit happened, but it had to happen to my camera the first fucking morning of being in Georgia. You know, like, come on. Excuse my language, by the way. It's just, even just talking about it, just kind of, I'm not as heated as I was this morning. I was pissed this morning, but I'm a lot better now because I have a warranty. Like I said, my mom's telling me, don't worry, dude, we got a warranty. You're good. We'll go to Best Buy this week some point, you know. So I'm not feeling all that bad. I can still record my trip, but like today, I just can't do it. I can't do it. And plus I've literally been in here all day, and I'll explain what I've done in here. So what's been going on after that? Well, I told my mom I wasn't going anywhere. I'm probably not going to go to the church for the rest of the trip, because if they're going to be out there my mom's been out there since 5 a.m, and it's 8:17 at night. I am not staying out there for a whole literally a whole day. I am not doing that. So, and I really don't want to take the car from her. So if this is going to keep happening, I'm not going to go to any of these things, you know. So if this happens tomorrow, I'm not going. If they're starting at 5, like, I don't care if they expect me for security. I'm not going to any of these events if they're going to be all day. I'm not going to do it. So, but, besides that, other than that, yeah, so they've been at church all day. My sister and the niece left at like 3 in the afternoon. So they got me some food to live with for the day. Pizza, you know, it's been sitting on my bed for a while, but it's not going to freaking go out after a few hours. It's not going to get moldy and expire and not be edible anymore. It's just gonna sit there like that, you know. And then I got some wings, and I got breadsticks, but I ate all the breadsticks and the wings I didn't really get far on. But I bit off more than I can chew. I thought I can handle this for a while, but then I really thought about it, and I'm like, shit, I can't even put it in the fridge, because this is the fridge. This is the size of the fridge. It's literally the same freaking size as my safe, if not a little bigger. So that really sucks, you know. So I just had food, and I was talking with Justin for a few hours, and I was hanging out, and just, you know, I've literally been in here all day, other than to go out and go throw away a diaper, or I don't know. I did something else. I don't remember what I went. Oh yeah, I had to go get the someone to help me, because these AC units here, these heater AC units, you know, with all these buttons here, you know, you'd expect. I'm so used to having to use these buttons everywhere, but then I couldn't gain no control, and it was blowing cold air. So I'm like, fuck, this is kind of annoying, you know. So I went to go get some, and he showed me the thermostat right here, and I was like, oh, you know, I didn't know that they use thermostats here, because I've been to Marriott's that just do the buttons there, you know, so I'm used to that. But other than that, yeah, I just been hanging out here literally all day. You know, have not left the Marriott once or anywhere. But, you know, that's what's going on right now. Literally, the day's pretty much almost over for me, and I'm still going to be here for the rest of the day/night. And, yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to my camera. You know, it still works for the most part, but I'm not going to live with a fucking glitchy-ass viewfinder. You know, I'm not going to do it. So, either new camera or fix it, new viewfinder, fix the damn thing, or get me a new Panasonic. Because, yeah, broken camera, no, I can't handle that. That shit bugs the fuck out of me. Can't do it. So, but yeah, that's about it. That's the only extreme thing that happened today, was my camera taking a very hard fall, which is very unfortunate. I even have a video of me getting pissed off and freaking out about it. So you will see that in my Georgia video. And I will explain that the next time I go out to film something or before I'm about to leave. I'll explain just how that event went down for the video for people who don't see this one, because a lot of people probably won't, but a lot of people will see the Georgia, or they might not see the Georgia and they'll just go to now. So, but yeah, so that's about it. You know, just hanging out here. I'm gonna finish this food. Yeah, that's about it. So day one of Georgia was definitely a stretch, but the flight wasn't as bad as just the camera dropping was the worst thing that happened to me this trip so far, and it probably will be, but at least I got a warranty. My mom's cool. She'll help me out with it, so fantastic. So anyway, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my time watching this video. I am gonna make a part two. I'm pretty much caught up with yesterday and now, but I'm gonna make a part two. It's gonna be private though. I will probably public it down the line, and yeah. So anyway, that'll be it for part one. Well, maybe the only seeable part for now until the future. So, toodaloo.